hustle, that's the only way I go. It's Jalen Carter on the beat. Every bar's in tune, turn arenas to a stage, make the culture boom. Notes hit like buckets, rhythm sharp as an axe, soundtrack of the moment. This is NBA, man! Lights up, we taking it higher.
So what part of... Oh, so first of all, it was 3-2, and then they point. They don't say the one.
That's true. Yeah, I've seen that before.
I learned on set, Where in Maine?
Central Maine. I live in Dover, so I'm like right in the middle of Maine.
Oh, right in the middle. Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, I actually probably spend more time than I should in Fredericton, New Brunswick, which, as you know, New Brunswick borders Maine. And when I need stuff, let's say for Christmas or whatever, that is only available in the US of A, and I happen to be in Fredericton, I will just shoot across. So Dover is probably, I don't know how far that is. It's probably like 3. How far are you from? I'm 2 hours from Bangor. So how far?
2 hours from Bangor. Okay, so I'm about 45 minutes from Bangor.
Okay, so about 2.5, 3 hours. If you drive an hour, I drive an hour, we could grab some lunch. Jalen will pay.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
I live like half an hour from Fluent, I'm pretty sure.
The lobster rolls on me.
It's half an hour for me, just so we're clear. You live in Maine, I live in Toronto, but when I'm in Fredericton, I will drive an hour and a half and you drive an hour and a half so we can have lunch for Jalen to pay. Jalen lives half an hour for me. We've never...
Bro, Fluent is busy with kids. He got dance class with his daughter. He got basketball practice. Fluent don't got time to just be going out. What am I going to tell you? Hey, Fluent, come to the club, 11 o'clock, be there. No.
Kids are sleeping. It's all good.
Right? I don't want to get in trouble with the wife. Like,
you don't know until you try.
Oh, man.
You can't see me like... Can't see me like in the club, just like...
Not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Fluent could be like John Moran at the club. You just never know.
Never know.
You just never know.
So before we hop into hoops, I just wanted to mention something real quick. I was hoping to be in a good mood tonight because... What was that?
If this is about ice, this is not the platform for it.
No, it is not about ice. No, I was hoping to be in a good mood tonight because I was hoping that both of my other sports teams outside of the Celtics, I was hoping that the Giants were going to sign John Harbaugh. I was hoping that the Mets were going to sign Kyle Tucker. Both of those are still within their own, but I was hoping that'd be done by tonight. But apparently John Harbaugh just left the Giants facility and is going to Baltimore and is planning on meeting with the two other teams. But who knows what that means?
The Jays are still in the Kyle Tucker race.
The Jays and I think the Dodgers are the third team. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see where he turns out.
I don't know if this, I don't know if you guys want to say this may be. I don't want to say the last NBA Max show, but it might take a hiatus for a while. I want to say it to you guys live on here where other people can hear it. Fluent versus Chill versus everyone. I think we got to do it. But I'm going to tell you right now, be prepared.
Okay.
It is be highly produced. There will be commercials, and it's going to be like an hour. Like it has to be like starts at this time, ends at that. Like it's going to be that type of
production.
Like so I'm hoping for next week for a premiere, but it might be, or maybe what's the first February? What's the first Wednesday in February?
I think the 4th, I want to say. Or is it the...
Maybe we do...
Yeah, the 4th. Yeah.
The 4th?
Mm-hmm.
Seems so far away.
We could do... Yeah, that does seem far away because I was thinking we could either do it either that earlier or we could even just do it...
Next week will be the 21st. Just do the
21st. We could do the 21st. We like another way, if we want to set it a true deadline, we could do it on the 11th too. That's the first Wednesday after the Super Bowl, unless we wanted to get it done earlier.
Oh, all right. We'll talk off air. So the first thing I wanted to... So what you were upset about the Giants did not offer Jim Harbaugh, or he's maybe said no, we don't know.
So they wanted, apparently the reports were that they were planning on like not allowing him to leave, like as in like hoping that he would accept the job on the spot. Yeah. But I'm thinking that
without signing, that is a great strategy.
Yeah, of course. So like that's the plan. But however, he's probably thinking okay, at the very least, I have two other interviews with the Titans and the Falcons. let me listen to them first, because obviously he has a ton of leverage if the Giants are going all in on him. So so like I'm still optimistic because he stayed with them for such a long time that I feel like he enjoyed himself. But but who knows what happens from here on out?
Oh, okay.
Imagine fighting over a mediocre coach. Wanting a mediocre coach. It's not like this guy's a multiple-time champion.
Mediocre coach.
John Harbaugh, incredibly mediocre. A lot of coaches. Mike Tomlin, incredibly mediocre. One Super Bowl in 5 years.
Tomlin is 100% overrated. That one I agree with. We had this discussion yesterday on Fluent and Chill. I said, for a coach to be great, they need to have at least, ideally all 3, but at least 2 of these 3 things. And if they're only going to have 2 of the 3, they need to be exceptional
in one of those 2 things.
In 2 of the, if they're only
both those 2 things. Okay. All right, let's hear them.
So you need to regular season success. I think that's important.
Mm-hmm. Of course,
it's important. You have to do that. Playoff success, I think, is the second thing. And the third thing, for me to consider you listen, I'm not saying you're bad. I'm just saying for me to consider you an all-time great, you have to have a solid coaching tree. So coaches that you developed that became great coaches. Mike Tomlin has regular season success, and that's it.
What about Kyle Shanahan?
He is 8. Let me finish with Mike Tomlin.
Sorry.
8 and 12. He is 8-12. He is 8-12 in the playoffs, which includes his second year, which they went 3-0 and obviously won a Super Bowl. His third year, where they went back-to-back to the Super Bowl, a 2-1 record. That's 5 of those 8 wins, and only 1 of those 12 losses came in his first 3 seasons. The next, how long has he coached for? 18 years? The next 15 years, he is 3-11, and he's lost his last 7 playoff games. There is so much about his playoff record that is horrible. Now, it's football, it's team sport. It's not all on the coach. I get that. His coaching tree, can you give me 3 guys?
No.
So he was a really good regular season coach who never had a losing season. But even though he never had a losing season, in those years he still missed the playoffs like 6-7 times. I don't know. I'm a 6, 7. No, I won't do that.
Oh no.
So it's like I'm so torn because he's had so much. He's never had a below 500 record. That's impressive,
especially with some of the teams he had. That's the roster, right? And that's a key thing for a great coach too, and why I have, let's say, I put Eric Spoelstra above Phil Jackson, because I think winning when you're not supposed to win, or winning with mediocrity, I think shows a lot in a great coach. When everyone thinks, when you look at the roster, like, wait, that roster doesn't look like a 45-win team in the NBA, or a team that's going to make the playoffs. I think that shows really the difference between a super great coach versus a good coach. I think a lot of coaches can win with great players, but when you can win with mediocre players or a flawed roster, where you can see where coaching makes a difference.
Regular season record is fantastic, which makes him a really good coach. The other stuff stops him from being a great coach, right? Like Bill Belichick, you could say doesn't have a good coaching tree either, right? If you look at Charlie White and the, Josh McDaniels and the Romeo Crennels, like all the great coordinators that came out of there never had head coaching success. However, if you look at his regular season and the playoffs, and granted he had the greatest quarterback of all time, so that sure helped. But he had exceptional success in both of those other 2. That's why I say, okay, I give him the pass on the coaching tree. It's just, again, it doesn't mean he's bad. He's really good, right? He'd probably go down, go in the Hall of Fame as a coach, and I wouldn't bat an eye if he did. I'm just like, I'm not going to put him in a conversation with Bill Walsh, Bill Belichick, all the Bills. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to be in that conversation.
So is Mike Tomlin like the Doc Rivers of the NFL? I'm trying to get along.
Hey,
lately.
That bad.
Yeah, he's not as bad, but
living off of his early success way too long.
Yeah.
He's what he is. He's the Wilt Chamberlain of NFL coaches.
what's crazy? The crazy stat with the Steelers though was that they've had 3 coaches since 1969. That's crazy.
Wild.
3 coaches since 1969.
Yeah. It went straight from Knox to Knox. Yeah, Knox to Bill Cowher.
Bill Cowher, yeah, but it's Tomlin.
And that's something to be said about that organization. I think the fact that they do that is it's the only team that does it, and it's exceptional. And that consistency means a lot, I think, because you're going in and you kind of got to buy into the system because you're like, I'm not getting this coach fired. I got to buy in. I'm not like they're going to step down like when they want to. But the thing is, though, have any of those Pittsburgh coaches ever gone on to coach anywhere else? And the answer
Howard retired right after, right?
Howard retired right after. I believe Knox did too. Tomlin might be the only one that may go somewhere else. So it should be interesting.
Cincinnati will be calling.
Cincinnati, what now?
They'll be calling for Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin will have a lot of suitors. He's held to high regard by a lot of teams, the NFL.
Cleveland.
Right?
I could see Cleveland saying, like, we need to have someone like reputable. Because Kevin Stefanski firing in Cleveland, I love how NBA Max has turned into NFL Max. Cleveland, to fire Kevin Stefanski, who's been the only coach who kind of stuck around and had some success. Tough to replace him. Like if you don't bring in someone that has a reputation for winning.
If I'm a coach, give me Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. I'll figure out the defense. Right?
I don't want the Cleveland job. You couldn't pay me enough. As you know, I'm good friends with Hugh Jackson, and he told me what happens behind the scenes with those owners. No chance could you pay me enough to go. Well, that's not true. It totally pay me enough.
There's always
let's be honest. I'd take any job for any better money, but you know what? Let's just finish. Any Super Bowl picks?
Heading into the playoffs, I had the Bills over the Niners, and both of them advanced. So, I'll stick with that.
Okay.
Drake May is my boy, and New England Patriots are back in contention. So, got to go with the pass.
Hey, I was on the Drake May better than Caleb Williams train when that whole draft situation was happening. I was a lot higher on Drake May, but I'm on the Bills still. I think it's just Josh Allen's here. I mean, no Mahomes, no Lamar. He's gonna do it. No Burrow. Like this is the year where he could. He wins the Bills the championship. That means something.
You got Bills over.
I don't NFC. Let's go Bills over Bears.
Bills over Bears. Excellent.
Bills over Bears.
This guy wants to have a fight with me when we. Okay. Well, it's funny because you said you had Caleb Williams over Drake May.
Drake May over Caleb. Yeah.
Yes, and my apologies. You're going to eat your words when Caleb outplays him in the Super Bowl and the Bears over the Pats.
You know what? If the Bears make the Super Bowl, you have a Super Bowl party. I'm there, Fluent. You have a Super Bowl party. I'm there.
I always have a Super Bowl party.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you better be. You live right down the road.
Yeah, I'll bring a case of Heineken or whatever.
Yeah, what you guys don't. The problem is we could have 2 feet of snow. So
yeah,
true. Yeah,
please. In Maine, it's like if you don't live 45 minutes from your friends, then you're not even really living.
It's 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes. Like if you like distance,
yeah.
But it's an hour and a half when you actually drive in traffic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Fair enough.
You have to understand, Toronto is an hour away from Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very common saying, and because it's true.
And we're both pretty outside of Court, Toronto.
Yeah. You're on. I think he's on the east.
Keswick. I'm at the end of 404.
You're in Keswick?
I'm in Keswick now. Yeah, I'm in Keswick.
I didn't know you moved.
Oh man, come on, fool, get with the program.
There's no Sherlock in Keswick.
Yeah, right. We started a new thing over here. No, I mean Keswick's booming these days. I mean Keswick, how's it being built?
I had no idea you moved.
Yeah, Keswick, end of 404. No traffic in Keswick.
Well, when we go up to the Rock to do some tubing, I'll call you.
Hey, there it is.
You know where the Rock is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, there's only one street in Keswick, so everything's on that street.
Woodbine.
Let's get to some basketball. Yes, go Chris.
You seem like you want to dive into your topic first. So yeah, like I didn't. No. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm curious, and I'm going to rant. So I want to let you guys talk a little bit before I
okay,
rant.
yeah, sure. So so I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Aaron Schroeder, aka Possible Chairs. He's been on both mine and Ori's show. He was also on.
I
He
know
was
him.
also on Hoopstorians with definitely
Yeah.
Tony. I'm pretty sure just Loon and I were on there when that one massive panel. So he tweeted out a list of his top 10 shooting guard peaks of the 21st century. And a notable person wasn't there. That's Manu Ginobili, not a top 10 shooting guard of the past 25 years, apparently. And that's got a ton of that got a ton of slander for sure. And he's Mars went pretty hard after, not hard, but Mars like strongly disagreed with him. Ton of comments, but do you guys want to guess some of the players ahead of him, or do you want me just to read them off?
I mean,
So 21st century means starting 2000.
Correct.
Okay, so let's go. Dwayne Wade,
Yes.
Kobe,
Number 3, Kobe. Number 1,
James
Ray
Harden.
Allen.
Ray Allen. Number 10, James Harden. Number 2,
So that's 4 of them.
I think Vince Carter needs to be there. But that's
Vince Carter. Number 9,
Tracy McGrady.
Tracy McGrady. Number 4,
Reggie Miller's there? No, I guess
Reggie Miller's not the 21st century. Yeah.
Is Paul
Um,
Pierce shooting guard or small forward?
He's small forward.
Small
He's
forward.
Paul George,
small
Small
forward too, I thought. Yeah.
small forward. Well, he's actually a shooting guard when he was good in Indiana, but people
Mm,
forget
Okay.
that.
So let's see who you guys are missing.
so we got-
Was how many?
Oh wait,
Number 4.
was Gilbert Arenas shooting guard?
He's a point guard.
Point guard.
Klay Thompson's there. That's kind of Klay Thompson can't be higher.
Klay Thompson's on. Yeah, he's not high in Klay Thompson. Like wait,
Steph Curry,
so there's 3 players that I know for sure you missed, and I'm pretty sure.
DeMar DeRozan.
No.
Just peak.
Wait. So hang on. So you guys said Kobe, you said Harden, you said Wade, you said Allen, you said Carter. There was you said one other one. I feel like.
T-Mac.
T-Mac. Yeah, someone said T-Mac. Yes. So
We're missing 4.
yes, you're missing
Iverson.
4.
Us.
Iverson is 7, and you're missing 3 more. There's a
Give us some hints. Don't tell us like what years.
okay.
Or what team?
Okay. I'll just say one of them was drafted in 2017. Other one drafted in 2015, and I think the last one was drafted in 2020.
Devin Booker? Whatever.
Devin Booker,
Bradley
Don-
Beal.
Donovan Mitchell.
Oh,
Not
Donovan
Bradley
Mitchell,
Beal.
Yeah. Okay.
so we're missing one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which year? Which one are we missing? Which year was he?
2020.
So the most recent one. So
Yeah.
drafted the shooting guard. There's so few shooting guards nowadays. Like Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. So so more specifically, so Iverson 5, Ant 6, D Mitch 7, Devin Booker 8. So his argument is that pretty much all the guys in the top 10 were like number 1, except for maybe Vince, I guess. Unless I'm losing track, but like were number 1 options on like teams that like either led their team to the conference finals or in Donovan Mitchell's case, leading his team to like 64 to be in like a 64 win pace.
With
But everyone else is
Carter and Tracy McGrady.
Right.
Tracy McGrady never made it out of the first round.
T-Mac. That's right. Yeah. Duh.
Yeah, that's
This is a peak conversation, though. Like Vince's
It is
peak
peak
league is so much better. Again, what Gilbert Arenas said is so true. He was the best when he wanted to be. So I don't know how you value that peak. Right?
Yeah.
He was literally the best player in the league when he wanted to be.
right. It's peak.
It's peak, yeah. So
Yeah.
what do you say to a guy who could be the best player in the league when he wanted to be any given night? And to me, I don't think Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, maybe not even Anthony Edwards ever reached the levels that Vince Carter reached in the playoff series against Allen Iverson. That back and forth was insane. Like he was playing at a super elite level there.
Well, that's the thing. So what's the argument? Because when you reminded me it's peak, which one is Manu Ginobili's peak better than?
I guess you can make the argument for Ray Allen is 10. And no, there is no argument for Manu being over Ray Allen, in my opinion. Like, I don't think there's a single argument.
Yeah.
And like the most
Was Ray Allen's best days in the 90s though?
no, it was
No,
no,
2000s. Yeah,
Yeah,
Seattle
early
Superstars.
2000s.
He had business.
Yeah, early 2000s. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, well, he put the years next to them, and like he said, 2000, 2002. So,
Oh, okay.
and I guess the next worst guys would be the current ones. So I guess in my opinion, I guess either Devin Booker again. I think Ant's the best out of the 3. So I guess either Booker or Mitchell. If you want to say that, like
Manu was the best playmaker out of all those guys on the list.
Except Harden.
Yeah, except for I guess Harden. You Harden one.
It's a weird one too because he's really He's really a point guard too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's tough for sure.
Chill said to me yesterday, he's like, I'm done accepting these guys' roles. He says, I'm taking Steph Curry, James Harden, Allen Iverson, Jerry West. He goes, they're sitting at a different table because you can't compare them to Magic, Stockton, Chris Paul, those type of point guards, and you can't compare them to Jordan, Kobe, those types of shooting guards. They play so different. So it's like there's another table now for guards for those guys, and I'm like,
combo guards. Yeah,
I don't like it. I kind of like it. I get it.
It makes sense. Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, just to come to the defense of Aaron for a second, I guess the number one argument for Manu is that all these guys, like, they can be number one on like competitive teams, but outside of Harden and Kobe, like only one of them showed that outside of Kobe and Wade, none of them showed they could be number one on championship teams. And is there an argument that Manu fits is more scalable to like his game is able to fit better next to other stars more than those other guys? I don't know. I'm just
fitting in as he was the third option. He was the sixth man. I know he chose to come off the bench. He could have been a starter, but he was the third option / sixth man.
Lots of people.
Him fitting in as a championship player, I don't know that helps his peak. I don't know that helps.
Probably not. No. Yeah. Well, like I guess the argument that I would give is that 2005, a lot of people said that he should have won Finals MVP over Duncan.
Sure. Well, sure, but Cedric Maxwell won Finals MVP. Iguodala won Finals MVP. Like I don't think that. If that's, I guess again, it's peak. So, but that's a series. If I have a team that's good enough that I can have Kobe coming off the bench and being my third option,
true.
Like you don't.
Manu, of course, he's such an eye test guy though too, because we understand the role he played, the sacrifice he made.
Doesn't mean he's great.
Yeah, exactly. It's just for peak argument. I think it's he loses. We're just talking like who's good at basketball, like better basketball players. He's in the conversation with a lot of these guys.
I don't think he could overpass any of those guys either, though.
I mean, I think he's better at basketball than Devin Booker or Donovan Mitchell. I think he does more on the court.
The more I think about it, because I wanted to run to Manu's defense because I don't think he gets enough respect. But the more I think about it, I don't know that all time or peak I can put him over any of those guys like easily. There's a conversation with some of them. There's a conversation. I don't think I can just easily say, "Oh, he's better than."
The Argentina gold medal is huge. Him leading that team, like that is big. That's
not NBA pick. Like,
it's just not NBA here.
No, just think about it. For that gold medal, they made up an award and gave him an Olympic MVP.
Hey,
that was the first time it was ever awarded.
I hear you, but leading Argentina to gold,
you've only made up that award 3 times. One for Manu to give him his flowers because he wasn't getting it. Once for KD because they want to try and make him into a superstar that he's not. And the third time for LeBron because they all knew his legacy's slip in and they needed to do something.
KD's still not a superstar. Crazy.
He's not a superstar.
I'm sorry. I'm with a lot of guys. He just might be ahead of Bird at this point.
If it were up to Tony, he would have like 3 people getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's how high standards are with literally everything.
Maybe like 13. Maybe not.
Cool with it.
Yeah, when Tony from Hoopstorians asks, he's like, "Oh, who are we do the Sports Fluent Hall of Fame every year, or we're just NBA Hall of Fame?" He's like, "Can you give me 10 guys?" I go, "I can give you 2." There's that. I'm not gonna give you 10. Would be the whole list of all the time Hall of Famers. No, it's not gonna happen.
Where do you have James Harden on the list? 3rd,
second, ahead of Wade.
Ahead of Wade. I think Harden ahead of Wade is becoming more and more popular.
It is,
and I think the longevity thing is interesting because at some point it's like, man, once you have a certain amount of like Dwayne Wade had about a decade of elite play, 8 to 10 years where he was like superstar elite, could be the number 1 guy. Then the knee injuries kind of happened, and I think he started to fade a little bit. James Harden is some of these all-time numbers. He's probably going to end up top. He's going to pass Kobe. He might pass Kobe and Jordan in points.
He won't. No, he won't.
Kevin Durant will pass Kobe and Jordan in points. He'll be very. James Harden might end up top 5, top 6.
Harden just passed Shaq for 9 on the NBA's list. He might pass Dirk.
So he'll get to 7th.
That might be the best that he gets to.
So at some point, it's like damn, the 7th or 6th all-time leading scorer in the NBA is going to have,
But do all-time-
close to
all-time-
14, 15. It matters. Like the reason, like we hold every single guy on that top 10 list that we hold to a high regard.
but
we're
not
held to
because,
a high
not
regard.
because of the total points.
Not because that's a
Like,
big
go-
factor though, because of how they did it. They scored, but also because they got that many points.
No, look, go down the list. LeBron, him having the most points all time is irrelevant. He is great because of all the other things.
Irrelevant's crazy. That's not irrelevant. Like his sustained level of greatness to get there is impressive.
If he was 11th, you wouldn't still have him. If he was 11th all time, you still wouldn't have him as the greatest player of all time.
I still have him as the greatest player of all time. But that's LeBron because he does so many other things. He's also second in assists, or top 5 in assists.
You just proved my point. Thank you, Jordan. 2 is Kareem. It's nothing to do with his points. That's why he's great.
If Kareem was not top 10 all time in points, he would not be universally regarded as the 3rd greatest player of all time. If he was not the leading scorer, he would not be on that.
He's regarded as this 2nd greatest or greatest basketball player of all time because of what he did in high school, college, and NBA championships, rebounding, leader, like all the other things.
But that all-time leading scorer record was the big reason why, especially a lot of the younger people to put him on that list. 100%. The fact that he was able to score that.
Michael Jordan passed him without even getting past him on that list.
But that's my point. Who's 3rd on the list? Malone,
great.
Malone,
super underrated.
Top 20.
That's insane. People are insane.
And he's the 3rd all-time.
But that's also because of his extracurricular activities. People don't want to put him on the list.
Again, you're proving my point that it's other things. Who's 4?
Kobe.
Okay,
Sorry?
Kobe.
I think. Yeah.
Nothing to do with him being 4th. 5th is.
Hold on, time out. If Kobe was 20, it was a 23rd scorer all time. Would we hold him as a high regard? No, we wouldn't. Stop it. The reason why Kobe's in the conversation for one of the greatest scorers of all time because he's also top 5 in scoring in NBA all time.
I bet you if you ask people where does Kobe rank top 10 all time, they don't even know.
In scoring? I think everyone knows.
Most people would say top 5 though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because
maybe even top 3, yeah. Because he was top 3 for a long time, yeah.
Who's 5th? Where were we? 5th or 6th?
5th is MJ, and then would 6 be Dirk or would it be someone else?
I think 6 Dirk, and then is it Durant after that?
Yeah.
See, Durant. Look, at some point, Larry Bird is great, and you could make a case that he's a better player for sure. Like, that's a debate to be had. But at some point, like Larry only got a decade because of his back.
There's
right?
better
He had
overall.
about a decade. Yeah, but Kevin Durant, at some point, it's like, all right, if he's at 15 all NBA caliber seasons, over 50% more than Larry Bird.
Jalen, the issue with that is like talk about Kevin Durant's longevity all you want, is that in all the extra years at the tail end of his career, he was only playing 60, 65 games a year.
That's true, but we got to stop just like pushing the narrative that it's just longevity. No, just longevity would be averaging 6 points the last 5 seasons. These guys give you 25 a night. This is sustained greatness of longevity. This is not Robert Parrish longevity, Vince Carter longevity. You know what I mean? This is different.
25 a night now is the equivalent of 15 in the 90s. So there's
15 is strong. I think it's less. 15 is strong. He's still an elite scorer, right? He's still one of the top 10
you can
scorers in the NBA.
How much easier
How high are you on John Stockton, just overall?
High on John. I'm probably less than Fluent, but more than the average person.
Definitely more than me.
Longevity. Yeah,
more than the average person. Because like I said, that's the state level of greatest has to matter.
John Stockton's a great example of how you can't put too much weight into having more total points. John Stockton has more total points than Bernard King, than Tracy McGrady, than like all these great scorers, and he's not a better scorer than them.
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. Exactly, without a doubt.
So that's why I say it means something to be in the top 10 all time, but it doesn't mean something at the same time. That's all
I see what you're saying.
Robert Parrish has more career points than Larry Bird. It makes it really hard for me to put weight into who has more total points when I know that Robert Parrish has more points than Larry Bird.
I mean, yeah, you're going to have situations like that occur, right, where people just play a longer amount of time than somebody else. But I also think like when we're comparing players, like I said, Bird versus Durant, at some point, is it just like Durant's just played for too long at too great of a level where you have to put him ahead of Bird? Like, even if you think Bird's a better player, I completely understand that, right? The eye test. But at some point, like, if you have 50% more, all NBA caliber seasons, also seasons, elite seasons, at some point, it's like, all right, I just got to give it to you.
So you would give the nod to someone who was great for longer than someone who did more in less time.
No. I think if it's close, like I think if there's a debate, if you have 50% more elite NBA seasons under your belt, I just have to give it to you. Like with Durant versus Bird, like again, My eye test, I'm like, okay, you know what? I think Bird's a better player.
Even though Durant is nowhere near the passer, the playmaker, the defender, didn't win as much. All that, even though everything else sways in Bird's favor, because Durant did it for 20 years versus Bird doing it for 10.
I mean, there's some things he's better than Bird at, obviously, we can talk about the shooting, where they score, whatever. But at some point, it's like, because of Bird's back issues, which clearly stopped him, right? And him coming into the league when he was, 21 or 22, because he has to do 4 years in college and all that. At some point, it's like, all right, when a guy does 15, 16, 17, super elite seasons over a guy that does 10, it's like, damn, even if I think you're better in those 10, those extra 5, 6, 7 seasons at elite play, Where
that becomes a problem is when you have a guy like James Harden.
Again, and I think I have to put him over Wade now too. I got to keep the same logic. He's got to be over Wade.
That's insane.
I got love for Wade, but
a guy who cannot do what it takes to win, who does very few things other than score, you're going to put him over a guy who's proven to be able to lead a team to a championship, be the second guy on a championship team, can score, can defend, the best shot blocking guard in the history of basketball. Like, he does so many things better than Harden, but because Harden stayed as a scorer for longer, we're going to put him as a better player. I think that's crazy.
Again, not just a scorer though, an elite playmaker, right? Again, when you're an all-time list as in assists and in points, that means something. Harden's going to be what is he right now? He's top 10 in assists too, I believe. Is he or close to it? Yeah. So I mean, so he's going to go up that list, up the all-time list. I mean, we're talking again. Yeah, is he a porous defender? Sure, but I think a lot of people overstate his playoff failures. I don't think it's all on him. It's just sometimes you're unlucky. The team.
So then you should have John Stockton as the greatest point guard of all time, and in your top.
Because with Wade and Harden, it could be close. Like, there's debate. To me, like, Magic Johnson, or if you want to say Steph, are noticeably so much better than Stockton. His longevity doesn't quite close that gap.
The gap between Magic
and Stockton is the top 10. He's in the top 10 without a doubt. I think Stockton versus I want to think who's a debate that I'd have.
Jason Kidd.
Stockton versus Jason Kidd. I think is a very fair debate. I'll probably edge Jason Kidd, but if you say John Stockton, I'm not mad at it.
Well, then that goes against everything you just said about longevity and numbers.
No, but Jason Kidd has longevity too.
No, he doesn't. Not like
longevity.
To an extent.
Stockton's like a longevity god.
He's the guy.
No, don't be wrong, 100%. Yeah, for sure.
Jason Kidd is the guy you talked about, who at the end of his career was averaging 6 a game, just hanging around. That's what he did, though.
So like
the comparison would be more. I have Stockton ahead of Derrick Rose, but some people have Derrick Rose ahead of Stockton.
So we're clear. John Stockton, so we're clear, is the only other player other than Magic to average double-digit assists for his career, and he played twice as long. Not only is the only other guy to average double-digit assists for his career, he also has significantly less turnovers than Magic, and he leads all time in steals and assists, 2 very important stats, especially for a point guard. Like, if you're going to say these greatness for a long time, no one was greater for longer at the 2 most important things that a point guard does up until the last 5 years, which is assists and steals. Like, if you read what a point guard's supposed to do, it's supposed to be facilitate, assist, and get steals on defense. That was their job for 70 of the 75 NBA seasons. He did it better.
I might have to edge Stockton. Make points. I'm at edge Stockton. Yeah, I edge Stockton. Look, he's in my, to me, again, he's up there. He's in that, to me, in that 5, 6, 7 range. I have Stockton higher than most.
Okay.
Westbrook's going to be up there too. Like, his counting numbers are insane.
Shout out to James Harden. This all started with Manu, but shout out to what's the guy's name again? Ladders bench.
Possible chairs?
Impossible chairs or possible chairs?
Possible.
Well, do you know? Did he ever tell you what that means?
I never asked him, honestly. So yeah, maybe that'll be the first thing I ask him next time I'm on my show. We'll see.
The first thing anyone ever asked me is, "What do you mean? What does sports fluent mean?" And this guy has the name Possible Chairs, and no one ever asked what's possible chairs.
Yeah, sure enough.
I mean, no one's ever asked me. No one's ever.
Isn't McGrady a small forward? Tracy McGrady. I feel like most of his all NBA is small forward.
He's a shooting guard.
He's a shooting guard. I thought most of his all NBA stuff was a small forward position, but
maybe. I
think he was listed as a small forward in Toronto, but he was only there for 3 years. And then when he moves to Orlando, he's listed as a shooting guard, which is why I hate that whole what they list you as. Like, but anyway,
you know what it was?
It's the only thing. Like, it's the only thing that's like objective is what you're listed as, and like everything else.
Yeah, but
like everything else is where it's like arguing semantics at that point. So rather, like, it's easier to say, okay, Tim Duncan, though technically a power forward, listed as a center. Let's argue listed as center because objectively he played more minutes as a center according to Basketball Reference. Even though,
but actually, that's actually not even true.
Okay, no. I said according to Basketball Reference. Yeah, I know it's not true, but it's the only thing that we have though.
Even the years he's listed as center, if you look at the starting lineups, he's always next to Thiago Splitter, who's a center, Rashid Robinson, a center, Umberto, who was he always had an actual center next to him after David Robinson left. But anyways, that's again an argument for another day. But I mean, just because I list Andre Drummond as a point guard, I can watch him, I know he's a center. You know what I mean? When listen, not to pick on LeBron, but it's easy.
LeBron James.
That season that he was listed as center was 1,000% for narrative and legacy, so that he can say he was listed at every position. Because if you look at the roster, they had Anthony Davis, who was listed as a center, who we know likes to play power forward, but listed as a center. They had DeAndre Jordan, listed as a center, who cannot play any other position. Dwight Howard, listed as a center, can't play any other position. Jay Huff, listed as a center, can't play any other position. So LeBron was the 5th center on that team. Please, you did it. You did it for a narrative, and that's the shit like that.
Play center. I hear what you're saying. Though.
Play center.
Yeah. Oh, it's like the 23 badge that's people are talking about right now. You seen all that?
I think that's nice.
And that's cool. Yeah, you do something great. Let's
he broke a record. No, he broke a record for seasons played. To honor that, I think that's awesome, because he's not going to have a trophy or anything else. I think the badge of 23. Now, I would have said wait until he retires and then make it 24, 25, whatever it is that he finishes, however many seasons, and have the entire NBA wear a 25 badge with him doing whatever with the powder thing that he stole from Jordan. I guess everything he stole from Jordan, let's be honest. I like that idea to honor him playing that long, because it is special. Let's not, I give LeBron fans, I stick it to them a lot just to mess with them. But what he's doing for the amount of years he's doing it is, we're never going to see this again. Right. So I appreciate it. I hope everybody else appreciates it. We're never going to see this again.
No.
100%. I guess it's just that I think it's the aesthetic of it. It becomes a little. It's kind of a turnoff to people that are like, why does he do this type of stuff?
I think it's they got the call from Upper Deck or the sports cards people. They're gonna sell that patch for that card's gonna be worth $500,000 million, right?
There's gonna be a piece of the patch, and people.
That's gonna be the rare card out of the set.
True enough.
$1 million. I hope I get it.
Right.
What my rant was about was, can we stop fucking retiring people's numbers?
Preach.
The Charlotte Hornets are now about to retire Del Curry. Del freaking Curry.
Yeah, it's low.
Number 30. Great number, by the way. Speaking of number 30s. What up, number 30? You go to bed? Oh, you don't know? Okay, then I'm not going to hug you. Get out of here. They're going to retire Del Curry's number 30 in Charlotte. For those that don't know, Del Curry, of his 15-year career, 16-year career, played 10 seasons in Charlotte, never made an All-Star game, never made an All-NBA team, was 6th man of the year one time, averaged, I want to say, 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists for his career. This is not a retired number guy. The only other number retired by Charlotte, by the way, so you can't say, oh, they just retire a lot of people, is Bobby Phills, who played even less and did even less, but died. And they retired his number, I think, in memory of, as a tribute. This is ridiculous. Okay, so he's the all-time second all-time leading scorer in Charlotte Hornets history. Well, yeah, they have a 25-year history. So the Raptors should be retiring who's second all-time on their list. Kyle Lowry number?
Lowry. I mean, they should retire his number. But
Lowry made half a dozen all-star teams.
He won a championship with them.
Yeah, he won a championship with them. He was like a leader of that team. He was a starter, for Christ's sakes. Del Curry started one game his whole career in Charlotte.
Wait, what? He only started one game?
Yeah, he wasn't a starter.
I didn't realize it was that bad. Jesus.
Yes.
Well, I feel like Steph kind of helped that. I don't know. I feel like that Del Curry brand name.
So it was.
That's 100% it. Because if we're just basing it off the numbers or even the eye test, there's absolutely no reason for his number to be up there.
So it's Steph, and it's also the fact that he's the which not play by play, the color commentator for
color
their.
commentator. So
It's those two
again,
things.
so he's the color commentator. That's why we're to hire the color.
Yeah, so like ambassador status.
Yeah,
what we're giving
it's
him?
not my decision, but like I'm just saying.
I want to give you some other number twos because that's the only thing people could tell me is he's the number 2 all-time leading scorer in Charlotte. But they're not. They haven't retired the number 1. The number 1, the guy who has the most points all time for Charlotte, they didn't retire his number, so who cares that he's number 2?
Who's number 1? Glenn Rice is that?
Yeah, Pau Gasol is the number 2 leading scorer in all time in Memphis history. Should they? Marc Gasol, excuse me, not Pau. Marc Gasol. Should they retire Marc Gasol's number? Should the Cleveland Cavaliers retire Ilgauskas' number because he's second all time in Cleveland points? Yeah, should they retire his?
Crazy.
Number? What about Randy Smith? Does anybody know who Randy Smith is?
We gotta stop. I'm with you here, Fluent.
Do you know who Randy Smith is? Hold on. Does anyone know who Randy Smith is?
Is this
Only
Indiana or no?
Randy Moss.
Randy Smith is the all-time leading scorer in Buffalo Braves / Clippers history. I guess we should retire his because he's the all-time leading scorer for Clippers / Braves. So it's like we're just retiring numbers just to do it.
Too many too many team. Let's retire like a nice guy who's a good guy, was loyal to the team.
But I have already given you the solution. Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Honor them.
Hall of
Does
Fame.
the Phoenix do that or Orlando?
The Dallas Cowboys do it in football that I know.
I think the Suns
the
do
Mets
it. I think
do
the Suns do
too.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, Patriots.
The
do
New York
that
Mets
sort of
do
thing,
too.
yeah.
I think does two things. It honors the person. You can tell the story, right? Can't tell the story of this franchise without him here to honor. We're putting him up in the Ring of Fame. But guess what? If Steph Curry wants to go to Charlotte, he can wear number 30.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So,
How many players in Charlotte Hornet history would you put above Del Curry before you even put him on that list? Like, I feel like there's like a handful of guys that have way better arguments.
Kemba,
Larry Johnson.
Yeah, like
Nobody on that team franchise deserves to take the number jersey.
I will put Kendall Gill ahead of Del Curry.
yeah. No, for real though. That's not even like a stretch. It's I mean, like I feel like this is just like
they don't have enough. The problem is they haven't been around long enough, and there was that gap in the middle. And I don't know if you want to count the Bobcat stuff, but they want to do it just to do it. And maybe you're right. Maybe it's because he is their play-by-play guy. Maybe that's it. But again, you can honor him in other ways. I think retiring the number to basically say he's so important to us that no one should ever wear his number again. I hold again. Maybe it's like the Hall of Fame. Maybe my bar is set too high. I think that's nuts.
I hear you. It's like when Nick Collis's number got retired by the Thunder.
That's
Haslam by the Heat. I hear
Tony
you.
Allen by the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, these are great role players. Good guys. Probably great locker room guys.
The Celtics also have 24 numbers retired, which I know they're an extremely gifted franchise, but that's still way too many, and it's going to be 26 after Tatum and Brown retire. So
because you're gonna set the level of if this guy got his number retired. Then. And
there's a campaign to get Ray Allen's number retired there, so you can join.
It's going to get to a point where people don't even have numbers anymore. It's going to be like letters,
triple digits.
emojis.
No, you know what they're going to do? They're going to be forced to unretire them.
Yes.
Do the Ring of Fame and which is good. Maybe that's what they need. Maybe
what's the reason for not triple digits though? Like why is it like a jersey companies or leagues don't want triple?
No, it's just because when the ref comes up to the bench, he says number 1 fouls on 15,
gotcha.
fouls on 6. Like so, it's
so they can just do 125, 125. I mean,
yeah, they could.
100 years from now, I could, or whatever, whenever it happens, I feel like
no. Listen, when you have a roster of 15 people, there's no reason to need triple digits.
True. I guess NFL makes more sense.
So Fluent. I was just busting your chops about being too strict with certain things about like rewarding players and everything. Here's my dad's take about like honoring players when they come back. He thinks that if a player leaves in free agency, no matter how great they were, if they leave in free agency, they shouldn't get a tribute video when they come back.
I would yes, no. I'm with him and against him. So I'm with him.
Yeah.
Because if we wanted you back and we made you an offer and you left for less money, Because especially in the NBA, you're leaving for less money. You're leaving money on the table. I can see that. If it was like I know they traded him, but let's just assume Damian Lillard gave everything he could to Portland. He's a free agent. Portland says, hey, we're going to start fresh. We'd love to have you back, but we know that you deserve to be on a contender. We give you the okay to go sign wherever you want.
Yeah.
Be blessed. Then I think, sure, no problem. I think it depends how you leave, right? Like, because even players that got traded, it depends on how they leave. I'm with them.
Like a Kyrie Irving, as great as that shot was, and as cool as the championship is, the way that he left the team was very childish. If I were the owner team,
he'll get his jersey retired.
He shouldn't though. That's the other thing. He forced himself out. I don't want to retire.
I hear you, but winning a championship in Cleveland is different. Right,
it is 100%.
Cleveland, the way when I was growing up, you talked about Cleveland sports as the bottom of the bottom barrel, right? Literally, no one cared, and then I guess still do. But when LeBron came to the sense of fandom and their sense of hope, whatever, and Kyrie was a big part of that. I mean,
you do agree though? LeBron's 11 years in Cleveland are still like a failure, right?
A failure on the part of Cleveland and the ownership team and management. I think they should have waited.
No, not him as an individual. Cleveland as a team.
If you had the greatest player of all time for 11 years and you could only got one ring out of it, I hear you.
That's not great.
I hear you. I know that 100%. No, I'm with you. 100%.
You call him the greatest player of all time, but let's compare him to the actual greatest player of all time. Jordan played 11 full seasons in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Got him 6 rings.
And he never had to face the Kevin Durant Warriors.
That team was successful. 11 years of LeBron, 1 ring, not successful.
Shoot, if only that GM could have drafted LeBron as Scottie Pippen. Could have been.
I don't think it matters. You were the number 1 seed in the NBA back-to-back years and lost with home court advantage in back-to-back years.
Like that.
It's just that's why I say it's just like as a team, like even LeBron on the Lakers.
Yeah,
if you think about it,
100%.
8 years, 9 years.
We also got to think about what he inherited too, as well. But
he came to the Lakers when they were in a dead era after Kobe with some young pieces.
Those young pieces, if they would have kept those young pieces,
I always say that 100%. They should have kept it. They could have. This is the thing. Even New York did this mistake too with Carmelo Anthony. They could have waited literally 3-4 months, to the offseason. Could have brought in a superstar with a great team. But this team had to give that New York. Can you imagine that Knicks team with Carmelo, with Danilo Gallinari, Wilson Chandler, all those boys?
Do you know who's on that Lakers team?
Oh yeah, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram.
That team's not winning a championship though.
No. Hold on, wait.
If they grow into it with Anthony Davis, I think they might.
What do you mean with Anthony Davis? They had to get rid of those. They had to get rid of those players to get Anthony.
No, but he comes to free agency though. If he came to free agency,
okay.
Yeah. You add him to that core of young guys.
Hear me out. They had Julius Randle, Kyle Kuzma, Brendan Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart.
Yeah.
Wait, time out real quick. Are you talking about if they didn't get LeBron, or are you talking because in order for them,
they have all those guys when LeBron is there.
In order for them to get LeBron, they had to cut Julius Randle though. They had to not offer him the RFA. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that was a money thing.
No,
I'm almost positive it was because he never played with LeBron.
Oh yeah, maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't play with LeBron.
Maybe Randle. I think because Kuzma was starting for him then, right? Yeah, so I think Randle left. I think right, Randle did leave.
I still think they could.
Yeah, even without Randle, with Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram.
I think they could. I think they could have gotten rid of some other players instead of Randle. I think they made. That's what I'm saying is they made mistakes.
Probably, around that part, sure, yeah.
And instead of keeping that core, okay, look, you have to pick who's better. Listen, personally, even them picking Lonzo Ball when they should have picked literally anybody else in that draft.
His career kind of tanked too because of his old knee situation.
He knew he was going to be trash.
I don't know. I think if he stayed when he was healthy, he was.
I think that's a little. I think that's a little revisionist.
He was a good rotation NBA player. Was he going to be a star? No.
You're telling me after all the hype and all the crap and his dad and all that stuff, you thought it would be a good idea for any team to draft him?
I mean, look, that has nothing to do with whether he was a good player or not, though, right? I can understand.
That's really difficult.
It's just a different, situation there. But
know,
with the
who
LeBron
was in that draft?
If he was going to be good, what was that, Tom?
I said, do you know who was in that draft?
Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, Bam Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo would have been amazing. If they had Bam and they had bring AD to play the 4 and the 5 with LeBron there with Josh Hart and
literally everyone picked after Lonzo Ball is better.
Not Josh Jackson though.
Okay, not Josh. Well,
no, come on.
Jason, hold on. Jason Tatum, De'Aaron Fox, Lauri Markkanen,
yeah.
Zach Collins, Malik Monk, Luke Kennard, Donovan Mitchell, Bam Adebayo, John Collins. I'm at pick 19.
Malik Monk and Mitchell next to LeBron.
Jared Allen, OG Anunoby. Like, there's literally
every lot.
That draft would have been.
Well, like I think you're listening to guys that are hindsight now. Like Lonzo Ball, if he stayed healthy, would have been better than Luke Kennard.
Lonzo was a good player in college, high school. Like, let's not act like he was a scrub. Like the hype you could say was overdone, but he was still a top 10 pick. For sure, top 5 pick too.
Now, granted, you didn't know you were getting LeBron, or maybe you did. I don't know. But Lonzo Ball with LeBron is redundant.
They also signed Rondo that offseason as well.
Yeah, Rondo makes sense with LeBron, but yes, again, Lonzo Ball there's no spot for him there.
Magic got caught up in the hype. He got you right. He
can't do what he does, and that's what I'm saying. Literally, they could have accidentally picked any one of those guys, even though they would have said, "Okay, they're lower on our board, they're less talented, or whatever." But it would have been a better fit. That's all I'm saying. And then giving away all of those pieces when you could have waited the 3 months, like you said, signed Anthony Davis as a free agent, and now had however many of those guys you could have kept. Now you still keep the young core, some of them. Again, you have again, it's in hindsight, but Lakers missed on Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Yeah, their draft record in the LeBron years has been
Jaylen Brown. I know you Celtics guys love him, but Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum with LeBron in LA. I don't care who else is around him. We're good.
Yeah.
I don't care who else is around him. If that's my 2, 3, 4, I just need a point guard and a center. I'm good.
So here's the thing, and I'm asking questions here because you know how much I'll defend my guys as much as possible. How good would they have been next to LeBron? Like, I know LeBron makes like his team better, but I think I question the fit, and I also question development because Luke Walton wouldn't have developed them as good as Brad Stevens did.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's fair. That's fair. Brad, I'm a big Brad Stevens guy. So.
And that's one of the biggest knocks against LeBron is that if you look for whatever reason, that this is actually a difference between the Jordan and LeBron when we have this conversation. Is Jordan was expected, like everyone says, oh, it's too bad they never put a Pippen next to LeBron or whatever. Well, Jordan was expected to have Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen both coming off the bench for year one as rookies and then starters. So to start with these young guys and grow in a system that took the ball out of his hands and reduced all of his stats. And some of us applaud it. Others say, oh, he got lucky. But when you look at LeBron didn't allow that to happen. Whether it was by organization's choice or his voice, we don't know. But it was never, hey, this is your rookie class. Grow with them for 5 years, see how it goes.
I think LeBron was too good at elevating mediocre talent. They never were able to get a good draft pick. And it's one of those things where his rookie year he was playing with was it Ricky Davis on that team, who was I guess younger at that point.
Ricky Davis played for half the season, and when he pushed back on LeBron, he made them trade him.
Rightfully so. Carlos Boozer. I mean, like it's Ricky Davis. Carlos Boozer
was a phenomenal player at that time.
Good player.
And he had an all-star center in Ilgauskas.
And Ilgauskas again. But no, I'm talking about young guy. I'm talking about the young piece that he would have grown with. Ilgauskas was kind of a vet. He was a vet.
He was young. He was young back then. And everyone will say because he doesn't fit in today's NBA that he was trash. But no, he was.
He wasn't trash. Yeah, 100%. He was not trash. Ilgauskas was a good player.
That was a center that you needed in that time. So no, he had a lot of good. And in fact, you also knock his coach. His coach, Paul Silas, had 20 years of coaching experience. He knew what he was doing. And then Mike Brown, as much as you want to poop on Mike Brown came from learning under Popovich. Like that was a very, very good, like solid assistant coach hire with tons of experience. He was given everything. And again, I don't know whose fault it is, but they had draft picks. They were trading them away
to get some guys.
They missed the playoffs the first 2 seasons. They had high draft picks. They traded them away to bring in these vets because, again, I don't know for whatever reason. Again, either the organization or him. But even when they get Kevin Love, I still think Andrew Wiggins, the draft pick, would have been better to grow with. But he didn't want that. He wanted now.
I will say I think Andrew Wiggins could have been a Scottie Pippen-esque type guy. I initially when I thought he came in next to him, long wing, going to play defense, can score the ball, do it all.
And let's be honest. What was the one thing about Wiggins? He never bulked up. Well, I think next to LeBron, if they're hitting the gym together, he put him on that same nutrition plan that LeBron is on. He would have.
Yeah, but I do think that trade everyone makes just because Kevin Love coming off a 26-10 season. He was still young. He was still only 26 at the time, right? Or 27. Whatever. He was still relatively.
Was he
young
first
guy.
team All-NBA that year in 2014?
He might have been.
No,
Sure.
You know why you don't make that trade though? Because you know exactly what's going to happen. Kevin Love's going to be Chris Bosh. You just saw it happen in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have Kyrie who's going to play. You have Kyrie who's going to play the Dwayne Wade role. LeBron is still LeBron. Kevin Love becomes Chris Bosh.
I think that trio was great. Though. I think Kevin Love
he has to get sacrificed. Whereas Wiggins, now young, there's no expectations. He can go out, play defense, be a playmaker, do all those things, and be elevated as the years go by. That's a better. And then when Kyrie does leave, or maybe Kyrie stays because
he would have stayed, I think,
because he's the big brother now to Andrew Wiggins versus the little brother to LeBron and Love. Maybe Kyrie stays, and now the three of them do grow together. Or if Kyrie still does leave,
the Cavs were. People forget the Cavs were on there. Where there were people say like, okay, and I know this argument for when I used to defend Kyrie all those years when or the 2 years that he was with the Celtics. The Cavs were on their way up. They were winning. When LeBron left, they were awful. When they drafted Kyrie, he was injured the first year, but every year he was healthy. They were on the way up. And then if LeBron didn't resign and they just ended up playing rolling the dice with Wiggins, I think they would have made the playoffs that year and eventually like won out.
Look, I think Kyrie developed amazing next to LeBron. Kyrie reached his peak next to LeBron.
He didn't. No, no one's saying that he didn't. Yeah. But we're talking about strictly from the lens of the Cavs. Like obviously they don't win the championship, probably not. But like as far as it goes for like long-term success, like that could have been a duo for a decade. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean it's a solid core. That could have definitely been something that could have lasted for a little while. I think giving them something. Yeah,
I think Kevin Love is kind of overly. One, I don't think he did not get worse next to LeBron. I thought he was actually better in Cleveland. His counting stats, obviously,
he was not better in Cleveland.
But he was. Hold on, just because he had all the usage in the world in Minnesota, putting up a lot of empty stats on a 20-win team. I mean, what are we doing here? Kevin Love was making big shots. Offensively, he was actually better. He became a better shooter in Cleveland. He was scoring from all three parts of the court. Kevin Love was better in Cleveland. He just played a different role. And again, I think they would have won more championships if few things went the right way. That first year when he got hurt and Kyrie got hurt, they would have won back-to-back then. And then if KD didn't show up, like it's a whole lot of factors that I think really kind of held back that capture where they could have won more. Again, the injury luck factor, and then with Golden State doing what they did, they just kind of ran into a
So Kevin Love in 2014 shot let's see so 37% from the fields. He had 3 seasons that were better than that. So one of them being 2011 in Minnesota, the other ones being one of them being 2018 in Cleveland, the other one being 2022 in Cleveland. So technically only one of those seasons he got better next to LeBron, but that wasn't until 4 years after he signed. I don't know what other stats to use besides three-pointing, but I don't know what world he was better with LeBron. You think
he was better in Minnesota than he was? Let's say that 4-year run where he was making finals everywhere. That's insane. That's insane. But that's
no, it's not insane. If anything, you're the one. Like this isn't like a.
No. What? Okay, Kevin Love was a better defender in Cleveland, without a doubt. He was a better defender in Cleveland than he was in Minnesota. He was actually trying in Cleveland, playing defense.
I don't know if that's the case or not. I'm not saying you're wrong in that sense. I've noted, but
you guys are just saying the 26 and 12. Like Kevin Love in Minnesota was a beast in that regard, but he was not better at basketball than when he was with Cleveland. He'll tell you that. He'll tell you his basketball IQ got better, his passing and playmaking got better. Just like Chris Bosh. People are going to look at the 24-12 with the Raptors. When he gets to the Heat, it's 18-10. But the defense with the Heat. Chris Bosh was a better basketball player in Miami than when he was in Toronto.
Wow, and LeBron could still only go 2-2 in the finals. That's sad. Okay, so is the next big rivalry? Last topic. Do the Thunder? No. Do the Spurs need to win a championship for the Spurs Thunder to be a rivalry, or is this already the next great NBA rivalry?
Not this season, but I'd say within the I would say within the next 1 to 3 seasons, they have to win a championship in order to be considered a rivalry, in my opinion.
Do they have to play? How about this one? Do they have to play in the playoffs, or is a regular season rivalry enough?
Ooh.
It all helps. Like, playing in the playoffs helps.
Yeah.
Having a championship helps. Playing in a game 7 helps. Like, having these big moments where, big guys like Wemby and SJ can do their thing. But in terms of rivalry, it's interesting because, like, Wemby doesn't care. Like, he's one of those guys where, like, he'll never sell a rivalry personally. I think he cares, but he'll never, like, openly say it. You know what I mean? Like, he'll always say
I think he's openly said he hates Chet.
Yeah, he likes to beat Chet real bad.
No, I think with Chet, he gives him, like, like, he doesn't care for him, but I don't think he openly says it, has he? I mean, I might have missed it, but, you could definitely tell, but he doesn't say it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it'll be a great rivalry again. I mean, but I don't think it's going to be Chet versus Wemby. Like, Wemby's at a different level.
No. But I think that's kind of the solid foundation with the big guys. And honestly, if the Spurs knocked out the Thunder this season in the playoffs, I think it's a rivalry. I think that's what you need to fix it.
What if the Spurs never win a championship and they never play in the finals?
Then it's not a rivalry.
It's not a rivalry.
Yeah.
But it's tricky because, like, what about, like, the Chicago Bulls and the New York Knicks? How they used to play each other, and, like, the Bulls used to beat them all the time. That was a rivalry still.
Played in the playoffs. That's why it was a rivalry.
You said they never met in the playoffs at all.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Sorry.
You need some of that. Because
he's like another good example where you would be the Heat and the Pacers in the early 2010s as well. Like that was a mini rivalry. Like
Yep. That's fair. I think that the Chet versus Wemby thing is interesting just because of obviously their body types being kind of similar. But I really think that, like, I feel like San Antonio is gonna have a chance to pass Oklahoma City in the next 2 or 3 years. And I think that's what may force it into a bigger rivalry, is the fact that I think San Antonio has a higher trajectory.
I think OKC won't be able to afford all their players because right now they're young and cheap. And OKC by historically doesn't pay their guys, doesn't have the money, they're a smaller market, blah blah blah, all the excuses. But that's where I think it might be a problem, is that the Spurs have a higher ceiling than the Thunder do, because the Thunder are built on kind of this deep roster. Anyways, that being said, I'm going to give you my stats for 11 games, and then I'm going to tell you the record, and then I want you to tell me what it means, if it means anything. So these are all points and rebounds: 45 and 27, 59 and 17, 61 and 22, 53 and 24, 41 and 23, 37 and 37, 53 points, 34 rebounds, 59 and 24, 51 and 18, 39 and 16, 29 and 21. Is that an impressive 11-game stretch?
I was going to say it's the only one that I can think of on this, but I feel like you might be tricking us here.
My record was 0-11.
Jeez.
Okay.
That's definitely Will Chamberlain then.
My stat.
I mean, when you're going up against a team with 8 Hall of Famers, I'm sure that 0-11 was against the Celtics or whatever it was.
Oh, come on, man!
Like,
false narratives. I
don't know. I mean, I just think that team.
Frank Ramsey's definitely Hall of Famer.
Wait. That was from November 17th until December 9th. These were all regular season.
Oh, regular season games. I mean, hey, who was he playing next to?
Paul Arizon.
No. I mean, I gotta watch the film. I couldn't tell you. I gotta watch the film without context. Bring up the film.
That's what happens when you are a loser.
So you're saying those stats and an 0-11 could possibly mean something?
I mean, those are super impressive stats, and obviously 0 for 11 is possible. But which is why I want to see the film. Like, watching the film on these Will Chamberlain games would be interesting to see.
There is no film. There is no film.
That's the problem. So, like, we'll never really know.
I mean, that's like
Tony, how many of those games actually happened?
Yeah.
How many of those games actually happened? All the games happened. How many of those stats are real? I don't know.
Right, who's the scorekeeper for these games?
All of the games happened. I don't know how many.
They try to doctor the stats, but they lose so bad that they can't do anything.
It's the thing with the stats in those days that you got to remember is you got one guy in a smoky arena, because that's the other thing, who's probably smoking himself,
right?
Sitting there with a pencil and a pad trying to keep track of 300 points because they were averaging like 150 points per team, trying to keep all of those stats themselves. One person for both teams. You can't even see the other side of the court if you know where they sit. Have you ever sat at the scorer's table of an NBA game?
No.
Everyone thinks it's a great seat. It's horrible because it's literally press row. Sometimes you're in the first row, sometimes you're in the second. There's right. A lot of times there's cameras there, there's mics, right? Because you got all the play-by-play people next to you too. So you're 2 rows back. Now imagine it's not this nicely beautiful lit arenas. Okay. Again, everybody's smoking, including you, smoking your eyes. Right. And you're trying to watch.
Scotches deep.
Yeah, right. There's 10 guys on the court, their backs to you, and you're trying to see who tipped that pass for the steal, who made the pass for the score, who tipped it in when there's 6 hands going like this up for the rebound and tipping it in. Because don't forget, it's not like today wide open shooting threes or like, oh, that person scored a 3. Awesome. You think they were accurate? You think it was even possible to, again, not purposely, you think it was even possible to be accurate?
So do you think there's a good percentage of Wilt's stats, besides obviously the 100 game, that are artificially inflated?
Not artificially. I think there's a good number of stats for everybody in those days that are just not accurate because of circumstance. Because how could you be? This is what I challenge everybody, and I know this is the hardest part is to go sit on the floor, or heck, go sit in any seat.
Yeah.
And with a piece of paper and a pencil, track every player's. You can have all the players' names listed. Track all of their points, rebounds, and assists. That's it. Just those 3 stats. Even though, don't forget, they were tracking. Some of them were tracking steals, blocks. Blocks was later, but steals.
So it's funny you say, yeah, and it's funny you say that because one day, so this is my sophomore year in high school when I was on JV. I went to one of the varsity games, and you know, like there were like, yeah, it's like all the stat girls and like that are keeping track. They had like 5 girls that, and each of them had like 2 different categories. Like, okay, you do the points and the rebounds, you do assists and turnovers, you do and like my coach loved taking charges. So you do charges and something else. So yeah, so yeah, I can't imagine just one person doing literally every single thing.
And then the last thing I'm going to leave you on, in the playoffs, Jordan's highest scoring playoff average in playoffs. Do you know what it is? What his playoff average is, points per game?
41
for a season. I mean, for a series,
career.
33.4.
33. Do you know what Wilt's is?
29.
22.5.
I guess, yes.
Dude was a playoff choker.
Or was he getting like triple team in the playoffs? I mean, you don't know. I want to see the film. I guess I need to see the film.
Look at his finals numbers. I think his finals numbers, he averages like 19.
He stinks.
Again, this is a lot of box score. This is crazy.
All I'm saying is Wilt Chamberlain is a fraud.
Oh, Canada. Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
No, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.